Baldoyle Bus Group 2021. This is bus case study number 1, John. Before setting off on his day's work, John quickly checked the lights, tyres, including tyre pressures, wipers, and his emergency engine stop. So that's not a proper walk around, is it?
Oh,
What's the
yeah.
recommended time by the RSA for a walk around?
10 to 15 minutes.
And the legal amount of time you have to spend on it?
No,
Zero.
There is no legal amount of time you have
no,
to spend on it.
yeah.
But it has to be done, and the RSA recommend between 10 and 15 minutes. At his first stop, he recognised a passenger boarding the bus, whom he suspected might be hearing impaired. Not necessarily deaf, but a loss of hearing anyway. The previous day, she had asked how much the fare would be. John answered $4.10, while looking at someone at the back of the bus. So good customer service is keeping eye contact and speaking clearly anyway, but especially with someone with a hearing impairment. The passenger then handed him €10 and took a seat without asking for change. At the time, John wondered if she had heard him, so he must have just pocketed the difference. This time when he asked for the fare, he looked her in the eye and said $4.10. She smiled and gave him exactly €4.10 and didn't ask about the day before. I certainly would have. As John pulled into the next stop, he noticed a passenger in a wheelchair and a woman with children. So there's priority areas for people with different abilities, and sometimes there's priority areas for women with children, isn't there? He pulled the bus close to the curb. So what's the furthest away from the curb you're allowed to park?
45 centimeters.
5 centimeter, yeah.
But we're gonna in a bus you park nice and
Maximum,
tight.
maximum 45, right? It's maximum.
Yes, that's the maximum, yeah. But when you're driving a bus, you're going to park to where you believe the front of the line is, and tight to the curb to prevent accidents. He switched off the engine. Does that make sense to anybody? I don't know why he would switch off the engine, and left the bus in first gear for safety. Okay. I'd be stopped, and for safety, be putting on the handbrake, wouldn't you?
Yeah, of course.
And put it into neutral and put on the handbrake. He lowered the bus using the kneeling facility and lowered the ramp, so you need training for that. If it was a ramp you pull out, you'd need manual handling training. If it was the electronic ramp where you pushed a button, you'd still need special training for that. The women and children boarded the bus and sat in the priority seating. John helped the passenger in the wheelchair to the docking area, where some passengers were already standing. He then lifted one wheel over some debris. Debris means rubbish. You certainly would not lift a wheel over rubbish with a person sitting in it. That'd be terribly rude, impolite, and possibly dangerous. The debris should have been cleared up. Some debris left by the passengers, and applied the wheelchair brake. Again, you don't apply the brake on someone's chair. You may ask if you can. If they say yes, you go ahead and do the brake, but you don't just apply the wheelchair brake. He drove off smoothly. The next stop was at the new supermarket, which John knew would have more passengers than any of his other stops. The bus was clearly 3/4 full with 35 passengers. So if you divide that into 3, that's 15. So a full bus would be 50 passengers. John quickly calculated how many more passengers with heavy packages he could take. When he arrived at the supermarket, he was relieved to find fewer passengers than he had anticipated. Fewer passengers than he thought would be there. However, the bus was near capacity, so near capacity means near full. A fact proven by the effort needed to move off. There's a lot more people on the bus, there's a lot more weight, so you need more acceleration to pull off. John pulled away, shifting gears quickly to keep the revs in the green band. If you took too long between the gear changes, it doesn't mean moving from 1 to 2 or 2 to 3, it means the actual change in the gear stick. So you're going and clutching quickly into second gear, and then if you left too big a gap, the revs would drop. John pulled away, shifting gears quickly to keep the revs in the green band on the rev counter. However, he approached the right-hand corner too quickly, and the passengers were thrown about in their seats. What force caused that?
Centrifugal.
Centrifugal, yeah, he's going around a bend. It is momentum as well, but centrifugal goes shooting up if you're going around a bend or a corner, putting you off your natural path. What's
the limit of the green band of counter?
I don't know.
2, 3,
something like that. You'd have to look yourself on the count. I don't know off the top of my head. The bus had seatbelts fitted, but not all the passengers wore them. The bus was not designed to carry standing passengers. That's funny because there were standing passengers in the docking area earlier, weren't there?
Yeah.
John now realised that he had not taken a break all day. When do you have to take a break?
4.5.
When you're driving, when do you have to take a break?
4.5.
And if you're just working?
6.
6 hours.
John now realised that he had not taken a break all day. Before the next stage of the route, there was a steep descent ahead. Roadworks had been going on below the hill for about a month. Typical local council. As the bus was descending the hill, who should be looking after that area, governing traffic?
The contractors.
Who's the guy specifically in charge of directing traffic?
Pointsman.
Yes, pointsman, exactly. Who else can stop traffic? Pointsman?
The live up of them. School warden.
Yep, school warden.
Flagman, animal,
Yeah.
yes.
Yep,
Farmer.
emergency services or
Animals.
people animals, exactly right, yep. As the bus was descending the hill, John took his foot off the accelerator and braked gently. What brake is that? What do you call the foot brake?
Service.
Service brake, yes. And what's the brake you employ when going down a long descent? Retard, or what's the other word for it?
Endurance.
He drove along a dual carriageway built to motorway standards. Maximum speed for a fully seated bus on a dual carriageway?
65.
A fully seated bus?
100.
100, yes. If it had standing passengers, it would be
Standing,
65.
yeah.
At 120 kilometres an hour, so that's wrong. And what should the bus be restricted to?
80.
No.
Sorry.
Nope.
What, 100?
100 should be restricted to 100, so I don't know how you got 120. Fair play to him. And was stopped by the guard who asked to see John's documents. What documents should John be carrying?
License.
License,
CPC.
tachograph, CPC, yes. The guard also asked for John's tachograph
Angie, stop
records.
it. Sorry.
If he is analogue, how many records should he be holding?
28
Plus
days he's working.
28
Yeah,
days
yeah.
plus the day you're working. After inspection of the bus, the guard had told John his front near side tyre was defective. Where's the near side?
Left hand side.
Yes, near the curb. Near side is near the curb. So his front near side tyre was defective. This delayed John and his passengers, forcing him to wait at the roadside to have his tyre replaced. During the conversation, the guard also asked John, "Did you check the bus before using it today?" John admitted that he had not completed a daily walk-around check, as he was in a hurry and he forgot.
Oh,
That's an instant fine,
shoot
isn't
him
it?
down.
Yeah, he's in trouble now.
What's the punishment for not doing your walk around?
I'm not 100% sure. I'm not sure if it's 500 or 2,000, but it's not good anyway. The guard then called a vehicle inspector who found more items that John would have found if he had conducted his walk-around check. The vehicle inspector also asked about the vehicle maintenance records and the fault reporting procedure at John's company. What is your fault reporting procedure, you as a driver?
There's any problems with the car, with the bus?
Sorry?
If there's any problems or
Yeah, but what is the procedure? How do you report a problem with the bus?
Tell your boss.
What do you do every morning?
You do the walk.
Oh, yeah.
And then what do you fill out?
Fill the form, like the form. What you check.
The nil defect book. The nil defect book. If everything's fine, you can just tick the box at the bottom which says nil defect. But if there's a problem, you mark it on the sheet and you give the top copy to your transport manager.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's if there's a small problem. If there's a major problem like the light's not working or a defective tyre, then you still give the top copy to your transport manager, but you refuse to take the vehicle out. Okay?
Yes.
That's your vehicle report procedure. The bus was detained until the defects had been fixed. This was embarrassing and expensive for John and the company. Why would it be expensive for the company?
Insurance.
It could affect the insurance, but it would affect your reputation and people wouldn't use you anymore, would they? And John will now be prosecuted for negligence.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's bus CPC 1, that's John. Most people who watch these videos like and subscribe. I'd like to say thank you. Most people who watch these videos like and subscribe. I'd like to say thank you.